Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. How long's it been since you've had a brandy snap? It's been a while for me. Well, not really, I've just eaten 3. Well, I'm about to show you a super easy recipe and you can make as many as you like. So I'll just give you one last look. I'll get these in the fridge and then we'll whip up a batch for you guys. Now these brandy snaps couldn't be any easier. We only need a few basic ingredients and you'll have a beautiful dessert in no time. So the first thing we're putting in is 100 grams of butter, straight in your little pot. And then I've got my little cup, my packed cup of brown sugar, and that weighs 240 grams. Ooh, nearly missed the pot. And then we've got half a cup of golden syrup. And if you don't have golden syrup, you can just use molasses. And that weighed 180 grams. And then I'm just gonna put this on a really low heat and just stir it until the sugar dissolves. That's it. Oh, and the butter melts. Now, whilst you've got it on a really low heat, just stir it constantly. Don't stop. Just keep stirring it until your sugar has completely dissolved and you can't see any of that butter. We don't want to bring this to a simmer or a boil. Just stir it until it's all nicely combined. That's it. And then what do you reckon that took? About a minute? And look at it, it's all melted, the sugar has dissolved, and it looks fantastic. So now to this, I'm just gonna add a little bit of ginger and then some flour, and that's it. So I'm putting 1 teaspoon of ground ginger. Now, if you think that's a little bit on the strong side, just put half a teaspoon, but I'm going a full one. Oh, and didn't that smell good? And now is when you want to add your brandy. If you want to add brandy to your brandy snaps, then you go right ahead. But most brandy snaps that we buy these days don't actually have brandy in them. But mine are having brandy. And I'm just going to put a tablespoon. Mine will be classed as the adult version. Oh, quick stir without splashing your grog all over the bench. And didn't that wake up the senses? And then into here, we're just putting a cup of plain flour, and that weighs about 150 grams. But we have to sift it. And I'm sticking with my new little sifter. All is going well. And I'm just gonna stir that as I sift it in. And that's what they call a little bit at a time. Or gradually add your flour. Now, if you got a little bit distracted when you were heating up your butter and your sugar, then you might want yours to just cool a little bit before you add your flour. But if you don't let it get too hot, you can just add your flour straight away. And once you've got that all really combined and there's no big lumps of anything, we can start cooking. And I'll get rid of some of this flour. I don't know where it came out of. Now I've got my oven set at around the 170 degrees Celsius today. Now you can set your oven anywhere between 160 and 180. It doesn't really matter as long as you keep an eye on them. And now we're just gonna spoon small teaspoonfuls onto this tray. Now every time you make these, it might be a little bit different. You might have been a little bit heavy-handed on the butter or the golden syrup or the brandy. So just bake one first, see what it does. So I'm gonna take a pretty good dollop, a good teaspoonful, and I'm just gonna put it on there, get it in there, see what it does. And when you do put it down on your tray, try and keep your spoon in the center, and that will ensure that they're round. Let's cook this little dollop and just see what it does. So if you just cook one first, it gives you a chance to see what this little thing's gonna do. Have we got our oven hot enough? Is our mix too runny? Do we need to add a little bit more flour? Is it too thick? Who knows? Let's see what they look like. And there we have our first little snap. Now that took about 5 minutes. Now just give these a chance to cool before you start to handle them. The main thing is that you don't let them completely go cold, otherwise you won't be able to manipulate them now. And then you can just roll it around your rolling pin. And I can feel that it's cooling really quickly. And because of the butter in it, it's still nice and greasy. So it's not gonna stick to whatever you shape it onto. And now we know by looking at the circle on our paper that these things spread a fair bit. So this time I'm just gonna put 4 on my tray, see what they do, and I'll set my timer for 5 minutes this time because I'll do another tray. So now we've rushed ahead and we've put a couple of trays in. Let's see if they went crunchy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, can you hear that? Now that is a snap. I'll leave that bit there and you can help yourself to it if you like. So what do you want me to do? Press stop on the video, or do you just want to hang out and have a chat for a while? I'm not doing much. I'm just waiting on my brandy snaps. And obviously you're not doing a whole lot. So we may as well do that. Well, that shut me up, didn't it? So that's what's working for me. 4 on a tray at a time, 2 trays in the oven, and I can work with about 8 before they cool too quickly. Now you can feel by just touching your edge, they cool so quickly. Glue it together, and then I'll just feed that down my rolling pin, grab another one. Once they start to cool, you've got to get a move on. And that's what happens if you put 6 on a tray and they all stick together. And I've left it cool a little bit. So there's not much I can do with that. So they are going to be just shavings or just snacks. And then I'll go again, just sticking to my 4 on a tray. And like I said, these misshapen ones, they will not go to waste. You can break this up and put it on ice cream. You can put it on the top of a cheesecake. You can just eat it. And I reckon these are taking about 5-6 minutes to cook. They don't take long. They're a little bit fiddly, but oh, they're well worth it. This time of the year, when you're having really heavy things for dinner, these are such a great thing for a dessert. And if you want yours a little bit smaller, find something that's not as thick as your rolling pin. And they do cool quickly, so get a working. So these ones I'll let cool on my muffin tins and we'll make some beautiful little baskets. I should have got a smaller muffin tin. You put your favourite ice cream in one of those little cups and you'll think you're in heaven. And then they cool down in no time. And look at that, you've got yourself a little basket to put whatever you want in there. So when you're cooking these, the main thing is to keep an eye on them and don't overcook them. If you take them a little bit too far, they have a burnt taste to them and you don't want that. So just keep an eye on them. They start to bubble around the outside and then they slowly bubble towards the centre. Once the centre starts to bubble, then they slow right down. So when they're just about finished bubbling, you get them out. And you can see by me rolling them on something a little bit thinner, then they're a bit thinner. So it's up to you how big you want your snap. Do you want it that size? Or do you want it that size? You make them however you like to have them. And then that little one down there that we forgot all about and we didn't shape it, well, someone's just getting that shape. There's a fine line between when you can touch them and when you shouldn't touch them. And I think I just crossed it. Yow, that one was hot. Now, if you're a little bit slower and you need a little bit more time, then just leave them sit on your hot tray. But you still have to work pretty quick. There's no time for chitty-chatting. And then we just keep going until they're all done. Makes quite a few, doesn't it? But I'm telling you, you're gonna want a few of these ones. And then, like I said, you can mold these onto whatever you want. You can put them on a glass. You can put them on whatever. You can roll them into a cone shape. Do whatever you want. And the great thing about these, they cool so fast, we can get filling in these and serve them straight away. So my last batch is just about done. I'll get those out, quickly roll them, and then we can talk filling. Such a great little thing, aren't they? And they were super easy to make, basic ingredients. You've just got to be patient. I'm just waiting for the perfect moment. I've crossed the line a couple of times today. Oh yeah, we're good to go. So they're still really hot, but just use your spoon, roll them on there, slide it down your spoon and pop another one on. Ooh! And don't drop it. You'll spoil the shape. By the time you've done those, they cool that quick, straight onto the next tray. And you've got to go fast. Ooh, that's still hot. And you'll soon know if you're not going fast enough because your edges will start to cool and they will crumble and crack. But if you do about 8 at a time, so 2 trays of 4, you should be just fine. So straight off onto your tray to cool, and then we can get onto our filling. Now you can put just about whatever you want inside these little things, but traditionally they either had fresh cream or chantilly cream. And I'm doing a chantilly cream today because I want these to last a couple of days. And to do that, I'm just using 300 mils of thickened cream. And then to this, I'm just putting about 2 teaspoons of powdered sugar, icing sugar. And I'm not worrying about sifting that or doing anything with it. I'm gonna whisk this with my little handheld and it'll get out any lumps. And then I'm just putting about half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And now we can just whisk away. And we can go fast straight up, I reckon. I've got a bigger bowl today. And then in a couple of minutes, you should have a really stiff cream. And by stiff cream, I mean stiff, not soft peak. We want this cream to hold its own. It's not going to be oozing out of our brandy snaps. Now this cream for these brandy snaps isn't overly sweet. I don't want it too sweet because these things are sweet enough on their own. But if you want to add a little bit more icing sugar and have your cream a little bit sweeter, you go right ahead. But give it a taste before you lick your beaters, just in case you want to mix something else through. And thanks to my beautiful daughter, we happen to have a professional piping bag. Now I've chosen a tip that's got a little pattern on the end of it. I'm not quite sure what it's going to do, but it's going to leave some sort of pattern. So that's what I'm going with, because I want these to look as good as I can get them. And now let's get some of this into our piping bag. Now I'll just put a little bit to start with and we'll see what this nozzle does as to whether we're happy with the pattern or not. And now we can just pipe. Now when I'm piping, I'm just going to go in one end and then turn and go in the other end. Don't try and just fill it all from one end. And then the little tip that I chose was perfect. It's leaving a little frilly pattern there, and that's exactly what we want. And don't be stingy. Make sure you put plenty of cream in there. And then we can just keep going. They don't look like much when they're sitting here cooling, but you put this cream inside of them and wow, don't they change? Okay, so I'm happy with my little pattern that I've got going. So I'm gonna get the rest of this cream in here so I can do the whole lot. Now, if you're not gonna use all of your snaps straight away, then just don't put cream in them. Just pop them in an airtight container and you just keep them in the cupboard and you cream them as you go. Oh, there was an air pocket. We just had an explosion. They look pretty good, don't they? And remember, if you want to make these super special, then you can dip the ends in chocolate, let the chocolate set before you put your cream in. And then the same with your little baskets. You put a little bit of cream in the bottom of these and a couple of little bits of fruit on the top. And then they're pretty good as well. So you can see the big ones that we did first on the rolling pin. They're a bit too big, aren't they? I'm glad I swapped and went to the wooden spoon. Now, if you're traveling with these, just make sure you don't overfill them. Just take your cream until it just fills it. Because if you overfill it and they all touch on each other in the container that you take them somewhere in, they don't end up real nice once you get there. So just take them to the very end and that way you can put them all in the container without them getting cream all over each other. And check this one out. It looks like it's a bit of a disaster. I made a bit of a mess of it, but you put some cream in that little bad boy and he looks just as good. Now that's about enough for me to take with me today, and the others I'm just going to put in the container and keep in the cupboard. So if you're making a batch as big as mine, then just double your cream if you want to cream all of them. But I'm only taking about half with me today and the other half are going in the cupboard, especially these ones because I love them with vanilla ice cream. And then I'm just going to put those in the fridge, let the cream firm up a bit, and then they'll be ready to travel. And these ones in a container, and then we can have a taste test. And how good do they look to serve at a little gathering? I am such a fan of finger food. I love it when you can just take something off a tray and walk around and eat while you're chatting. Sometimes I just don't want to sit at a table just stuck there. I like to walk and graze, and these are perfect for that. So I bet you want to know how good they are. Well, I'm just about to tell you. And they are so good. What a great little thing to serve when everybody's eaten too much, no one wants anything else. Everybody can fit in a brandy snap. Or two. Now you can definitely eat one or two of these, 3 or 4. They're really easy to eat. So if you do make a batch, allow at least 2 to 3 per person because they will eat them. So if it's been a while since you've had a brandy snap, now's your chance to indulge and enjoy. And if you've never had one, now's your chance to have a great one. I should stop eating them, shouldn't I? So I'll get these back in the fridge and I can't wait for you to try this one and hopefully it brings back more of those memories. And until the next recipe, you guys take care and I'll see you then. I might just have another one. And now we're just putting a cup of flour. And I just weighed that and now I don't know what it was. Why would you do that? Didn't write it down, did I?